What's going on, everybody? Jamie Cheerio here, and I want to talk to you guys about what we call the Emergency Response Network. Now, the Emergency Response Network is just a fun way that somebody a long time ago figured out how to ask creatively for referrals while also making people feel very important at one of the hardest times of their life. So in a basic overview, what is an emergency response network? So an emergency response network is somebody other than the beneficiary, a small network of people other than the beneficiary that are going to be there for the insured. God forbid the worst thing happens and they pass away or they become sick or disabled and a claim needs to be made. So when we're going through and we finish up with the policy, Mary puts down her son, Ben, as the primary beneficiary. Now, afterwards, she's going to receive a thank you card in the mail. After she gets her thank you card, she's going to get a few more things, talking about her policy. And then she's going to get a postcard, a text message, and an email educating her on the Emergency Response Network, the people that could help your beneficiary, especially if you've got, husband, wife, and, the wife is super distraught. And the last thing that she really can do or wants to do is fill out paperwork and deal with an insurance carrier. Who are going to be those people in the Emergency Response Network that we need to let know that Mary has a policy? So they're going to get something in the mail, text, email, like I said, that's going to talk about the Emergency Response Network, who those people are, and it's going to offer them an opportunity to provide 3 names, 3 phone numbers, and 3 emails, which we will then notify that they are a member of Mary's Emergency Response Network. So Mary lets her sister, Barb, know. She lets her brother, Bob, know, and then she lets her neighbor, Susie, know. Okay, so you got Barb, Bob, and Susie. They're all going to get a text message, an email, and a phone call that talks about, hey, just letting you know, Mary just recently took out a life insurance policy for $25,000. She put her son Ben as the beneficiary, but she did list you as an emergency contact and wanted to add you to her emergency response network. I just wanted to let you know what that is. Basically all that it means is just your backup. God forbid something happens to Mary and Ben is having a hard time, doesn't know how to fill out the paperwork. She trusted you that you'd help them, really navigate that scene in their life, navigate that time, help them get the paperwork filled out, and you'd be somebody that, especially if Ben forgot where the policy, was at, forgot that it was in the safe, that Mary could trust you with the location of the policy, who the beneficiary is, and you could help make sure that that policy is used for her final expenses to pay off her debts. But you're someone that she trusted that would help her son, Ben, take care of everything when she passes away. So you've been added to her emergency response network. Does that make sense? I'm just going to give you some really basic information on the policy info. I'm not going to give you exact, benefit amounts because that's obviously going to be against our terms of service. But I just want to let you know you've been added to that network. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. And has anybody ever set up your emergency response network? No. Okay. Do you have life insurance? Yes. Okay, great. Well, let's talk about setting up your emergency response network. This gives us an opportunity now to review their policy. Or no, I don't have life insurance. No, I don't have an emergency response network. Okay, hey, it'll just take 5 or 10 minutes. I can see what you qualify for. I can help you get that all set up. It's so important. It was important to Mary. She wanted to make you a part of her network. Let's go ahead and get your emergency response network set up as well. So that entire thing is going to be taken care of via automation. They're going to get a postcard, email, text message. If the client goes ahead and responds to that, we've got some systems that'll go ahead and automatically try to set an appointment with you for you to let that client know where they stand in Mary's Emergency Response Network, and then have the opportunity to really transition that quick informational call into, hey, do you have your emergency response network set up? So it's a really cool and creative way to make sure that Mary has her back is, fully covered, that everybody around her is going to take care of Ben if something happens to her, but also for you to be able to make new relationships and find out if they have life insurance and really start booking appointments from that. So a referral is free and you don't have to buy a lead. So if you can use the Emergency Response Network as a creative way to get referrals, that can be an unlimited source of leads. And then guess what? Barb buys a policy and you set up her Emergency Response Network and she gives you 3 names. And maybe of that, nobody, is willing to get, a new policy. But then Bob, he does that. He sets up his emergency response network, and 2 people, they get policies as well. And then they set up theirs with their 3 people as well as their beneficiary. So you now have, an unlimited list of referrals if you learn how to take advantage of the emergency response network. So I hope this makes sense. If you have any questions, please reach out.